Hello and welcome to the Texology. I am CA Priyanshu Goyal and this audio episode is part of my podcast series The Texology, which aims at imparting information on crucial concepts of Indian taxation scenario. If you prefer to listen in Hindi, you can watch my videos on YouTube and Instagram. You can find my profile by the name CA Priyanshu Goyal. As like other episodes in the series, this is going to be a very short clip with the aim of conveying only relevant matter. Before we begin with today's content, I would just like to mention that if you feel like connecting with me, I am available on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter by the name CA Priyanshu Goyal. One of the most common questions I often come across is that according to Income Tax Act, being a business owner in India, how much amount can be spent in cash and what is the limit of maximum amount that I can accept in cash? The answer to this question can be segregated into two parts. Firstly, the maximum amount of expense that can be made in cash. For this, section 40A subsection 3 can be referred and the interpretation comes out to be that because of this particular provision, if you are incurring any expenditure exceeding rupees 10,000 in cash, wherein such payment in excess of rupees 10,000 in respect of such expenditure is being made to a person in a day in cash, deduction for such expenditure will not be allowed. So do not make any such expenditure in excess of rupees 10,000 in cash, especially if your tax audits are being done. Probably auditor will disallow such expense. However, Rule 6DD lays out certain cases wherein expenditure in excess of rupees 10,000 in cash would be allowed for claiming deduction. Now coming on to the second leg of the discussion, what is the amount in cash that you can accept against sales? For this, section 269 ST can be referred, and according to this provision, you should not accept in cash amount of rupees 2 lakh or more in respect of any sale transaction or 2 lakh or more in aggregate from a person in a day. However, certain exceptions have been provided in this section, like for government and banking companies, etc. Now, what if you receive any amount of rupees 2 lakh or more in cash? Section 271DA lays out penalty for violation of this clause, and penalty is the amount equivalent of such receipt. So concluding it, generally in normal circumstances, unless you are falling in some exception, incurring expense in excess of rupees 10,000 in cash and accepting payment of rupees 2 lakh or more in cash will be troublesome for you. So that's all for this clip. I hope you'll find this useful, and if there's any related query or question about this, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on social media by the name CA Priyanshu Goyal. Also, my email is info@priyanshugoyal.com.